Hello there! I thought I would avoid all technical gremlins this time and just do a live from my phone because I am up to my eyeballs. I haven't even uncovered my workbench today, which I keep covered with bubble wrap whilst I am not at workbench. Anyway, how are you all doing? I think I've got a rainbow over my head. Can you see that? Just up there. I don't know whether that's just an artifact of the reflection of the light. I've got the overhead lights on because I've been packing calendars today. Gosh, and cards as well. And thank you, itchy nose, so much for everybody who has bought one. I keep having to pinch myself that it's actually done, that it's finished. Well, it's not finished yet. I was actually working on December's mice late last night, in the snow. We've got lots of snow here just now. It's really quite magical, except I don't particularly like walking in it. So it's only magical with a cup of tea in hand and a big snug blanket wrapped around me or around my legs as they were last night. Gosh, I don't know, I must have looked like a granny last night. I was sitting at the kitchen table with my laptop in front of me, initially just to get the event up and running. And then I was working on December's accessories, which I can't tell you about. But this will be the last time that I'll be going, I can't tell you about it. So, Pamela, hello, you've made it tonight. This is fantastic. And Alison is here as well. Hello there, good to see you. This is actually much better than trying to do it on my laptop, it appears, because I get to see your comments as they scroll through. And I'm not kind of going, oh, I'm alive. So I'm sorry that I've subjected you to all that over the course of the past year. Another reason why, we've got Lorna here as well. Hello, Lorna. And is Nate here there as well? If he is, hello, Nate. So I've just been, I was going to, this is another reason. I do have a rainbow over my head. It's not just on my phone. This is brilliant. How perfect is that? We like rainbows over one's head, I have to say. This is lovely. I'm very happy. That makes me very happy. And Carol's here as well. Hello, Carol. This is great because I'll be able to chat with you properly instead of just monologuing into the phone, or into my laptop, or into whatever I monologue into these days. And we have Melissa here as well. Hello, Jude. Lovely to have you too. Gosh, so what time is it over in New York? That must be... how many? Are you 6 hours behind or 5 hours? I can never quite remember. But anyway, it's the middle of the afternoon. It's the middle of the night here and it's pitch black. And I think, although we had lots and lots and lots of snow over the last 24 hours, it's all going to melt overnight. Yay! That's what I was going to tell you actually. I was going to swing back to that idea. Circle back. I believe that is one of the phrases. But let's not go into politics at this time. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in New York State. Brilliant. Wonderful. Do you know, actually, it's really lovely to be able just to have a proper chat because I've been scurrying around like a mad thing. It's just, I don't know why I thought that once I'd had the calendar all, photographed and printed up and all the rest of it, I thought, oh yes, I'll take it easy now for the rest of the year. No, not at all. It's just it's all totally nuts. But anyway, Lorna, so Nate is playing the computer. So, well, I'm glad he says hello. Thank you. That's good of him to break away from my, which I've never played Minecraft. I used to be a great PlayStation player. This is back in the days before when I actually had some spare time. Must be well over 12 years ago now. And also when I was trying to distract myself because I wasn't the happiest of lawyers, it must be said, as I may have mentioned it once or twice before, possibly. So I really liked, but it was all the old PlayStation games that I really liked. So it was like Spyro the Dragon for PS1. And my other favourite one was Ratchet and Clank for PS2. That was fabulous. And I played them all the time, and that was really about it. I didn't play anymore. So anyway, Minecraft, never played it. Sorry, but I hope he's having fun. That's great. Snow, yes. So I really like. I really love looking at the snow, but I really don't like walking in it. So my walk to the post office today was a bit grim. It was because the pavements, thankfully, as I say, it's not freezing. So we're managing, it's all going to disappear It's all going to disappear tomorrow. But pavements just now, because Britain, for those of you not in Britain, and tell me if I'm wrong, all of you who are in Britain, but we're really not geared up as a country, as a nation, as a government, as anything. We're just not geared up for bad weather. So not only do we talk about it all the time, as I am doing right now, but we also complain about it, and we also, like, the country grinds to a halt when there's like a millimetre of snow or a tiny bit of ice or something. That's not to say that there aren't some bad weather things, but I think because bad weather things happening. And the wind, of course, has been really, really strong. Yes, Nicole. I can imagine it is, actually. In fact, Enrique, who works for Scottish Power, was saying his phone's been pinging over the weekend with pylons, electricity pylons being blown down and people out of electricity, which is dreadful. And I really hope that they get back on soon. But yes, it's kind of like our lack of preparedness may, in fact, somehow contribute towards these crises when they happen. Just a theory. But like, everybody in the States just seems to handle it, no problem. And those in Scotland as well, certainly up in the far north. It's just, you just get on with it. But in England, for some reason, and gross generalisation, I know, sorry if I'm offending anybody, but gross generalisation, we just don't really handle the weather terribly well. And part of that, I think, is because it gives us something to talk about. And that's a very good, forgive the pun, but it's a good icebreaker. You're sort of, oh, how's the weather? Oh, isn't the weather bad today? Oh, isn't the snow bad? And Alison, you're very right. Snow is definitely something to be admired and not to be actually walked in. Enrique disagrees. I think because he is a man from the tropics, because he's Mexican and he's used to really, really hot weather. But so snow and ice and coldness is still, after 20 odd years of him living in this country, but he's still like enchanted with the snow, loves it, loves going out for it. Whereas, and actually he has helped me to appreciate it more than perhaps I would otherwise. But I still don't appreciate it as much as he does. So I'll just leave all the snow to him. So yes, we've had, the classic, Nicole, you're saying the leaves on the line. Absolutely. It's just, the wrong kind of snow, the wrong kind of water. It's like, really? Is that the best you can come up with? Anyway, I'm sure it is a good way, as a social, what's the word? Social grease. Oh, that's not a good saying. It just helps ease the social interactions, because that's what we talk about an awful lot. So anyway, yes, Christy, so you had strong winds as well, and Melissa as well, wind and snow. Funnily enough, it is November, it is winter in the Northern Hemisphere, so you would kind of think that, we're going to get some bad weather. That's just what happens. And it does give us something to talk about, as I have now managed to keep talking for how many minutes? Too long. But yes, so yes, I just feel that there could be a can-do attitude that would make, it would make things a bit better. There's a bit of have you ever come across the phrase SEPs, somebody else's problem? Now, I first came across that, I think, in a children's book, and I can't remember which one it was. But anyway, if something is an SEP, you don't have to deal with it because it's somebody else's problem. And I think we as a nation, and again, gross generalisation, not making any specific point here other than we're quite good at saying, oh, somebody should be getting the gritters out, somebody should be, sweeping the leaves up, somebody else should be doing this, and I can't. Whereas actually, do you know what? I'd be very happy. I was thinking this today when I was out in the walk. If every householder or business owner just cleared the pavement in front of their premises or in front of their house or whatever, the whole place would be clear. It would just be so easy. It would just be so easy. Anyway, that's just, so yes, going forward, creating the new world that I really, really want to live in, that would be a thing. We would all take responsibility for keeping our little patch, clear and safe and, litter free as well. That's another thing. Easily done. And then it would all have a knock-on effect. It's not SEP, it's all our issues. So there you go. yeah, that's kind of, was it in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Karen, hello, you're New Zealand, aren't you? So you're kind of, whoa, way on the other, you're tomorrow, aren't you? You're now in, or if it's very late. No, I know, it's probably tomorrow, it's probably Tuesday where you are just now, anyway. Yes, so, and Alison knows where your towel is. This is good. I have several towels and I always know where they are. This is great. I do love those books. They are lots and lots of fun. I particularly like the Restaurant at the End of the Universe, which is the second one of the trilogy with the Book of Four, I think, because they're lots of good fun too. So I must go back and read them again. Actually, I really enjoyed them, and I watched the television. There was a BBC series about I'm talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's yeah. Sorry, we have squirreled all over the place tonight so far, and I'm going to squirrel back to say to Karen, yes. So it's Tuesday morning, and you're heading into summer. Do you know it was this time? In fact, almost exactly 3 years ago. Because do you remember I went to New Zealand? Enrique and I went to New Zealand for our honeymoon, and that was just nearly 3 years ago. So actually 3 years ago today was the day before our wedding, and then 3 years ago the day after tomorrow, this is all getting a bit complicated and I need to draw a chart, but that's when we flew out. We got married and we flew out the next day to New Zealand and had a wonderful time, and the weather was great, and it was just spring going into the summer, and such a beautiful time of year down there. So happy spring summer to you, Karen. Lovely, lovely. Right, yes, the dish, Alison, we're back to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Restaurant at the End of the Universe, etc. So long, and thanks for all the fish. So we've got, yes, the dish of the day, the cow that comes up and saying, oh, you should try my side. I've been fattening it specially just for, oh yes, just, do you know, I'm going to go back and you reread Lorna, perfect answer. You reread the books when you turned 42. I hope you've all read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and you get all the inside jokes, because they're just fabulous. And if you haven't, classic, need to go back, need to read them. I'm going to listen to them on an audiobook, actually. That's what I mostly do when I'm in the studio. I'll either be listening to podcasts or audiobooks, never listen to the news, never listen to the radio anymore. Not worth it. No. There's so many other happy things to be focusing on, and that's where I go. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to re-listen to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and the whole series. That's brilliant. Oh, fantastic. It's lovely to do that. Yeah, the answer to life, universe and everything is 42, of course, and life, don't talk to me about life. Marvin, Paranoid Android, fantastic. And oh no, it's just, oh no, okay, my brain is popping with Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy now. Did you ever, just changing the subject briefly, have you read Good Omens? Terry Pratchett, Neil Gaiman? There was an Amazon series made about it, I think 3 or 4 years ago, which we've just caught up with this summer. Brilliant. Reminds me in many ways of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So you can tell where the two authors, Terry Pratchett sadly no longer with us, but they've all been inspired, haven't they? They really have all been inspired. So yeah, that's another brilliant one to read. It's so good. In fact, I've read it, I've watched the series, and I've listened to the audiobooks, and I've listened to the audiobook play as well. There was a dramatisation of it as well. Kind of do that. I realise I'm a bit of a, if I'm going to do something, it's 150%. Absolutely. So if I find an author that I like, I will read absolutely every single book, find everything about their wiki page, go into, just totally delve in and absorb and find everything out about whatever it is that I'm really fascinated by. I remember doing that back when I was still in Scotland, actually. So that would have been, the tail end of the 1990s. It was, Mary Queen of Scots. I read a fictional historical novel about her and was like, oh gosh, this is my home country. I need to find out more. And I read every book, devoured everything, followed her trails, went and visited all the places where she was kept prisoner, where she went on procession. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. There's, what's his name now? Can't remember, famous historian, Richard Starkey, David Starkey, sorry. David Starkey. He's written quite a lot of popular history, and he's, you know, he's a bit of a figure on the BBC. He wrote a book about the young Elizabeth, and I went to a book talk at that he was giving at Waterstones. This is back in Dundee, back in the day. I think it might have even been Leeds. Can't remember exactly where it was, but anyway, really good. Anyway, so I asked him a question, and I said, you know, so what do you think would have happened if Mary Queen of Scots had met Queen Elizabeth? What do you think would have happened if they did meet? Now, they never did meet, but there's been a lot of films and things which have said, yeah, they have posited what would happen if they met. So I knew that they had never met. But he took great pains to say, well, of course, they never did meet. And I was like, yes, I know that. That's why I was asking you. Anyway, so that's my memory of David Starkey, but it did sign my book, so I was quite happy about that. Anyway, yes, so Terry Pratchett characters, we're back to, yeah, I've not, would you believe, I've not read every single one of his books, but I do like The Luggage. I love Mort. I think that's one of my favourite books. It's really very, very good. But there's so many other ones as well. Was it he that did the Dirk Gently series, or am I thinking of Douglas Adams? I might be thinking of Douglas Adams because we're still on the whole, Hitchhiker's Guide kick. Anyway, Anna, you're here. Hello, lovely to see you. I hope you're very well and still very happy. Yes, I've seen various comments from people over the course of the few days, because I've been, you know, I've been posting more often than I never really post about queerness on my personal profile. But yes, Alison, sorry, parenthetical comment here, death talking in capitals. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And of course, I did actually make a death of rats once, which is worthwhile. I'll post a picture because it was quite fun to do and very hard to do actually, because I'll tell you why. Dirk Gently, Douglas Adams. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. I knew I was getting confused as I was saying it, but yes, I do remember Dirk Gently, and there was like the Tea Time of the Soul, I think it was. Anyway, so many good books out there. Where was I? Oh yes, Death of Rats. Death of Rats. So yes, I think it was either Gemma or Christina who asked me to make Death of Rats. I'll need to go and check. But because I was making the rat bones out of translucent clay, and translucent clay is really quite hard to work with because it's quite soft. So I was trying to make this. Oh, anyway, it was just quite complicated, but I'm very happy with him. And I had to fix his tail on because he had a bit of a death accident at one point. But yes, Death of Rats, I have made. In fact, I've also made a wee free man as well, one of the little blue wee free men. Can't remember exactly the name, but I've made a wee freer as well. But I've never made a luggage. I don't think I've made a luggage. So yeah, so there's rife. Do you know, as I'm coming to the end of the Squeak Show, which is still, as I say, mind blown, can't quite get my head around the fact that it's wow, you know, like I've still got December's mice to make, and I've still got lots of calendars to send out. And please do spread the word, because I have quite a lot of calendars that I bought, and you know, so it'd be quite nice to shift them. So if there's anything that you can do to encourage people to say, hey, look, this will change your life and make you happy every day, which is technically true, you know, then do send them to my shop and I'll sort them out with a calendar. Anyway, yeah, the Knack and Mac Feagles, right, so Karen, we have clearly we have a Terry Pratchett, Douglas Adams fan. Anybody else? I suppose it would be Terry. Well, you must like Neil Gaiman as well. There's so many good authors out there. I have so many ones. I don't think I have a favourite one. Yes, Alison, I must make a luggage one day. I think I would have to find a way of doing the feet, because feet are quite hard to make actually. They're quite complicated, toes and heels and stuff. So I'd probably make a silicone mould for feet, and then make lots of feet and then stick them to a luggage thing. That's where I was going as well. Squirrel moment. Did you see November's thing? I did include a squirrel, because there are very few non-mice in the Squeak Show. I don't know whether you noticed. We've got an Easter bunny in the Easter tree scene for April, and we have in November we have the squirrel and the hedgehog. And although yes, very autumnal creatures, but the main reason for including the squirrel was because of the squirrel moments that I'm obviously in the middle of having at the moment. Some things never change. So, and where was I there after all? Yes, so I'm coming to the end of the Squeak Show. And so next year, what am I going to do next year? I mean, I'll be honest, this has been a heck of a year. I mean, quite apart from everything that's been going on in the world, this I have probably bitten off just about as much as I could possibly cram into my mouth without choking. So it's been busy, it's been a roller coaster ride, it's been exhilarating and in equal measures, which is the best way to live life. Let's be honest, you know, you're gonna like, oh, and this is the problem with doing this on a phone actually, because Enrique has just sent me a text saying, hello, are you in the middle of your brew and a blether? And it's just popped up and obscured everybody's screen. So the answer to that, if you're watching, Enrique, which you won't be, is yes. Yes, I am in the middle of the brew and blether. I will see you at home later. So yeah, so next year, right. Oh, actually, here, let's have some suggestions for next year. We've got Alison's going to start us off with some unicorns. Now, yes, I do need to make more unicorns. I did enjoy making them for that, for the pop-up unicorn book, which is, what, about 3 years old now? Where does the time go? But it seems to be doing quite well in Amazon. It's a shame that they've not got back to me and asked for, you know, more books, because I've got so many ideas, but perhaps that just means that I need to go off and do my own thing, really. Because as I was going through and this is another idea for next year, maybe not for next year, we'll see how it goes, but yeah, probably not next year, because I want a bit of a break. I would like to kind of take things a little bit easier next year. Unicorns, yeah, that's fine. I'll unicorns, yes, got them, tick, got the unicorn memo there. I do, absolutely. But yes, I think because every month it was like doing a pre-order. Well, it was doing a pre-order every month for the Squeak Show mice. But also then I kind of kept going off on diversions, you know, like the Halloween trees and the sugar mice and just coming up with all these extra ideas. And so it would be nice just to be able to play with the ideas as they come up without sort of, you know, running myself ragged as well. So I'm quite looking forward to that, I'll be honest. So it's been lots of fun, lots of fun. Yes, lots of sugar mice will be happening. Oh gosh, right, excellent. We've got ideas. We've got squirrels. Yes, I would love to make some squirrels, Pamela. Squirrels are definitely on the cards as well. Sugar mice, next year might be the year of the sugar mice. My favourite perfumier, who is Sarah McCartney, I'm sure I've mentioned them before, Sarah McCartney of 4,160 Tuesdays. There is a point to this story, but we'll get there. Yeah, so perfume shop, look it up, 4,160 Tuesdays, which is the number of Tuesdays that we live in a life. So my God, make each one count. That's why it was named 4,160 Tuesdays. Sarah McCartney used to be a copywriter for Lush, who does all those wonderful soaps and amazing flavours and all the rest of it. So she was a copywriter for Lush and wrote all the great descriptions for all the wonderful products that they do. She now makes wonderful, amazing perfumes. So I only ever wear perfumes from her store, and the whole point of that little anecdote was one of the perfumes that she made, I think earlier in the year or last year, was called the Year of the Sugar Mouse. So what's 2022 going to be? It could well be the Year of the Sugar Mouse for queerness. I will be sending her a sugar mouse as a token thank you for all the wonderful perfumes that she makes. But yes, do check out her perfumes. They're just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Right, back to sailing mice. Yes, I would love to do more sailing mice, and I've been speaking to Rachel, and we definitely want to do more collaborations. Not just with boats, not just with trees, but we've got ideas for the trees as well. We're going to do some like a set of four seasons trees too, because we've done the winter trees, we've now done Halloween trees, we've done autumn trees. So we've got spring, we've got summer, we'll come up with something lovely. So we've got the idea of the Four Seasons trees, but we're also looking at a sort of a seaside themed collaboration too. So yes, there will be water involved somewhere next year, for sure, for sure. And I guess I should probably give some of the other wee creatures a bit more of a bit more prominence, really, because the mice have been hogging the show this year in a lovely way. I mean, it's been wonderful meeting them all. It really has. I've loved meeting each and every single one of them. And what I love about the Sweet Show particularly is that no two people, and there's about 35, 36 of you who've been collecting the full set. And I never actually, I didn't have a number in mind when I set out, you know, I just said, who wants to be part of the Collectors Club? And it was like, okay, whoever comes through the door gets a mouse. That's kind of the approach that I took. Anyway, so where was I? No, I've totally squirreled off, or squirricked. I've squirricked off. Sorry, that was, yeah. So, yes, so I've got December's to go. Was I saying anything about December? Maybe I was still talking about the trees, or had I wandered off to something else now? Let's park that. I'm sure I'll circle back to it at some point soon. Meantime, more ideas. Yes, there we go. We'll just distract myself again with more ideas. So we have chef mice and cooking, baking. Absolutely, because Jacqueline is doing an amazing job of framing each of the Squeak Show calendar scenes. But the one thing which we've decided not to frame is actually the happy birthday baking mouse with the big cake, you know, the big rainbow cake, which was fab, loved it. So that will go on up for auction at some point, maybe without a frame, probably without a frame actually. I'll work out a way of doing that. But yeah, definitely more baking. We need more baking. Lots of baking ideas there too. And I know, Melissa, you would love an opossum. And of course we need to, it's Gladys, isn't it? Gladys the opossum. And more badgers. And the good news about badgers is that at the same time as I made the mole fur cane, or the fur cane for moles, and there will be more moles as well, because they're so sweet. They're just so cute. Need to make more moles. But I made a badger fur cane at the same time. Now, a badger fur cane. In fact, let's see if I can show you. Right. So the mole fur cane is a bit darker. Right. So I have no idea whether you'll be able to see this. That is my mole fur cane. So it's kind of dark. No, you really can't see that, can you? My phone is not auto focusing or anything. But anyway, it's quite dark grey. And this is my badger fur cane. So you'll see it's quite a lot lighter because of course badgers, and I'm talking European badgers here rather than honey badgers. So we're just sticking with the European ones, stripy, you know, the stripy heads ones, which are lovely, but they've got they've got sort of silvery, greyish, silvery backs. They're lovely. So I couldn't make a badger with just a plain grey back. Just wouldn't work. So yeah, so it's got to be. Oh, you could see it. Oh, good, because I was like, I couldn't see it, but maybe that's because I need to get new glasses as well. I wear computer glasses so I can actually see the screen. These are varifocals, because when I'm working, I peer over the top, and I never use my glasses when I'm peering over the top. But computer can't work because it's too close for the distance vision and it's too far away for the near vision. I need to get new varifocals. That's all I need to say. But anyway, back to badgers. So yeah, so I had to make another fur cane for badgers. So there will be more badgers happening. Badgers are definitely on the cards as well. And what else? European badgers are sweet. Honey badgers are a bit nasty. Do you know? I read that as a bit tasty. Honey badgers are a bit tasty. It's like, do you eat them in America? Really? Ew, let's not do that. Ugh. Anyway, no, I'm sure, yes, I've heard that they've got a bit of a nasty reputation. In fact, I remember several years ago now, there was a viral video that went round about the honey badger being nasty. Ooh, nasty, honey badger. I'm not going to do an American accent. Cannot do American accents. Squirrels, Kaz, definitely doing squirrels. Absolutely. More squirrels. Squirrels will be happening. Yeah, so it was so funny. It was like a nature program, you know, so it was, but they had this sort of very, I don't know, some American accent just going, ooh, honey badger is nasty. It was just, it made me laugh at the time. I'm sure I would look at it now and kind of go, okay, because, you know, things change over time. But yes, European badgers, I have to say, are very cute. and I've made a few recently, and I've enjoyed making them. And I think I've got, yeah, the squishy noses are fantastic. They've got like big squishy noses. It actually has taken me a bit of time to kind of work out how their heads work, because they're kind of triangular, diamond shaped, sorry, sideways diamond shaped heads. That's kind of the shape that they are. Now, whether that's because of their white streaks, the white markings, but they're not long and narrow faces. You've got to kind of broaden them out. So yes, again, this is what's so much fun about working on a new wee creature. There aren't too many new ones or ones that I haven't made yet. But when I do, it's trying to find it's trying to distill their essence into a very simple shape, but instantly recognizable. And it seems to work. I don't know how they do it, but you know, the wee creatures tend to be instantly recognizable as a mouse or a bunny or whatever. As a water sausage. I really love that description of an otter. A wee, what was it? A tiny water sausage, a small water sausage. And did you see the wombat video that was? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember who shared it this morning, but it was so good. It was so good and well worth watching. I think, in fact, it was another. It was somebody. It was no, the name's on the tip of my. I'm really sorry, but you're from Australia, and thank you for sharing the wombat one. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'll go back and I'll be like, yes, of course it was. Of course it was. I can kind of anyway. Right, doesn't matter. So it was a lovely video. So wombats are earth sausages. That's kind of why I call them, because they're just so cool. They're really good. Musical mice playing tiny instruments with the other mice with their hands over their ears. You've been listening to me playing the flute. Excellent. Yes, that would be lovely. And actually, not so wee instruments. In fact, I still have. Do you know, one of these days, I'm sure I've said this before, squirreling again, but I've got so many things behind me, so many accessories, so many like little things which I've picked up over the years. And this is why I need a studio. It's not because I work in a huge area. I need it to keep all the, well, both packaging and also to keep all the accessories that I've picked up over the years. They need to go somewhere. And, you know, so I actually work in a space which is about 6 inches square. That's my work bed. That's my working zone. Everything else is just storage. So, yeah, so I must, so I want to do instruments. So I still have some, but they're 1/12 scale. So they're like far too big for the mice, but they're perfect for a couple of mice to play. I love it. So I've done this before, you know, like where trombone, so like a couple of mice are holding up the bell of the trombone and one of the mice is sort of trying to play it up the top. They're so cute. So lots more to do there. Yes, and yeah, anybody playing the violin who isn't a virtuoso, it's not nice, is it? And I say this as I'm teaching myself, or was teaching myself cello, and I couldn't play it because I found my playing excruciating. It was just like, because I have nearly perfect pitch. It's more relative pitch, but I know when something's out of tune, and like even when it's a hair's out of tune, and oh my God, it's like, so yeah, very, very painful to listen to, really. So I'll stick with the flute. It's much easier to kind of play in tune, and piano's even easier actually to play in tune. It's just not so easy to play all the right notes. Anyway, but I have been singing. I was singing yesterday actually. We went into Manchester for a 10 o'clock rehearsal. The service was at 11. So we tend to do this. We just turn up, rehearse for an hour, sing, and then that's it. And then came home, and then snow all the time, just lots and lots of snow. It was but thankfully we managed to get out before it got really bad, and we didn't get stuck anywhere. This was good. This was definitely good. So yes, the 12 scale violins would make great mouse cellos. Even them, they're actually too big as a mouse cello, but they're good if you have one mouse standing on a stool and holding the neck of the cello, and then another mouse playing the bow. So it can be done, and it looks super cute because, of course, I mean, the mice just love interacting with their environment. This is my little Ponzi artist statement, if I ever had one. Karen is asking, have I ever made wee dragons? Well, have I? I have indeed. You need to go and pop and have a look at my what's it called, Flickr page. This is the gallery that I use. It's like a photo sharing website, and I have had my Flickr account for over 12.5 years now, and you will find a little photo album called Wee Dragons, and you'll see the wee dragons I've made. Must make more dragons. Actually, yes, must make more dragons. Must make more Millefiori dragons. Must make. Actually, I've never made a Millefiori dragon, I don't think, but I might be wrong. Yes, so Millefiori dragons, Millefiori mice, of course, the sugar mice. I've still got a couple of canes to make up for I've got a handful of Millefiori sugar mice still to make from the end of October. I'm sorry that there are still a few wee creatures still waiting to be made, but I'm getting there. I am getting there. And I can sleep over Christmas. There you go. I can have like 4 hours off. That'll be fine. I'm sure that'll be fine. Yes, so do you think I'll be kept busy? Do you think I'll run out of ideas of things to do next year? I'm kind of hoping not. I'm kind of thinking that I won't really run out of ideas. But I'm looking forward to. I've no idea what time it is, by the way. That's another thing with the phone. It doesn't show the time. So what time is it? Oh my goodness, we're over time. It's nearly 20 to 9. Sorry, this has been a total blether, and no brew either. I've still got to wash my cup from earlier on. Totally, right, sorry. Anyway, right, so I should probably wrap this up. But thank you so much for joining me. It's been lots of fun. So actually, I think I need to do the Blether brews. I need to do them on my phone, because it's just so much easier for me I can read things. Have we had any technical gremlins today? I don't think so. I've not been aware of any, but shout if there have been. So I think when I'm doing the demonstrations, when I'm doing a make, I'll do it with the laptop and the webcam and just hope. And I'll bring in my router as well. I'll bring in my router. Didn't bring it in today because Enrique's working from home because of the snow. But once I've got my router, I should have better Wi-Fi service and no gremlins. Fantastic, Alison. Thank you very much. And yes, I don't think I'm going to run out of ideas, but I am looking forward to having a sleep over Christmas and just resting for a bit. And so I may not be much in evidence. Oh, well, I say that, but I probably will be, because I can't help myself. It's just like I'll creep in, I'll go, hello, it's me again. I had an idea. But until then, at the moment, excuse me, I'm looking forward to, I've loved the Squeak Show and I'm looking forward to what's next. That's the perfect place. That's exactly where I am just now. I can't wait to share with you December's mouse, actually, because I was working on the accessories yesterday, as I said, and it's a good mouse to finish on, I think. And then well, Christmas, yes, of course, there will be, later in the week, I will post, I'll have a post and you can put in your requests for Christmas creatures. I'll do this as I did this last year. I think it seemed to work quite well. So people put in Christmas creature requests and I made them to order rather than doing one big event. But I will be putting creatures into my shop on a random basis as and when they appear. Yes, because I've actually made half a dozen Christmas pudding sugar mice. They're just waiting to be joined by more. They're so much fun to make. They really are. So there'll be lots and lots. And I've got so many other ideas for Christmas sugar mice. Can't wait to get started on them. But first, I've got to be disciplined. I'm finishing off the November mice. I'm getting the December mice launched. I've got the rest of the sugar mice. So yes, and we have calendars, of course, and cards and all that sort of thing to sort out. So I'm getting there. Bear with me. Yes. Anyway, yeah. So there I was 5 minutes ago, about to wrap things up. Thank you for coming on the call. Loved using the phone actually for this. This works really well. And have a lovely evening. And I think MJ has just joined us. From San Diego. Hello, MJ. But just about to finish. Yes, I've run over. There's a surprise. So enjoy your day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, and I shall see you later. Have fun. Bye.